is a 5-cent coin, and it's the least amount of money that you can physically hold in Australia. But what if I told you you can get a fully functioning PC infinitely cheaper? Meet the free PC.
So yeah, when I said fully working PC, I of course didn't mention that it would be any good. This Neolithic HP was found by a mate of mine a while back, after it had been thrown into the metal scrap pile at our local dump. Seemingly then, it was beyond the e-waste section. This event explains the state that this computer was in when I acquired it. Dirty, scratched and dented, with missing parts, and just has the general look that it had been recently hit many times with a big stick. Upon testing it, I found that it booted up into a corrupted Windows 7 install. So, with the computer tested and working, I took it outside and pulled it apart, dusting off the old motherboard and hosing the case and cooler. I then loaded it up with a fresh install of Windows 7.
Mouth, man. Yeah.
Should we draw a face on it?
Yeah, man.
What an artist.
Okay. The sticker on the side of the computer revealed that it had a Pentium 4 641 inside. A single core CPU running at 3.2 GHz. At least it's got hyperthreading. Half a gigabyte of DDR2, which I found out was wrong, and it had in fact been upgraded to 1.5 gigabytes of DDR2. It has a 160 gigabyte hard drive and the extremely powerful and very much sought after Intel GMA 950 graphics card. Oh yeah, we're talking some serious power today. Well, before we find out if this fucking Neanderthal of a PC can actually play games, we have to see if this fucking Neanderthal of a PC can even run Windows 7.
Device manager not responding. We're dealing with a very, very powerful computer here tonight, boys. Let's do the internet test.
1 minute later.
I have clicked launch.
A few moments later.
There it goes.
2 very boring minutes later.
Jesus Christ, those things ages.
Much later.
YouTube.
1 eternity later.
Please.
You get the idea.
So yeah, it genuinely took around 5 minutes to load a YouTube video, and once it actually did load, it couldn't even do 144p video in minimized mode without dropping over a third of the frames. Intensive web browsing doesn't work very well on this computer, but the basic sites did work okay. So let's see how much performance you get for the price of nothing. The first game we tested was The Sims 3. We ran it at 800 by 600 with all the lowest settings selected. When paused, it could get up to 21 frames per second, but as soon as you hit play, the frame rate dipped quite dramatically, bringing our average FPS down to a measly 16, but could dip as low as 8 or 9 frames per second when zooming in and out rapidly or moving the camera. You could drop the resolution down to 640 by 480, but it doesn't really improve performance that much, and the 800 by 600 definitely looked a lot nicer. FIFA 08 was the next game, and in a 640 by 480 resolution with all the settings slammed down as low as they would go, the game never left 30 frames per second. The game had no real stuttering that I noticed, but I was too busy to notice that messing around with the controls of this game. I don't have a single clue how to play this game. So, just look at the FPS counter, don't look at whatever the hell's going on right now.
I'm literally Cristiano Ronaldo.
The next game I tried was Crysis, but that just crashed every single time. Never mind, I can try Bioshock 2, which also just crashed every time. Well, that's a problem, since Steam stopped supporting Windows 7 and now no longer opens on it. I can't play any more games on this operating system. Oh, does that mean it's Windows XP time? Windows XP installation went without problem, although I was a bit of a dorbus and made the thing do a full format instead of just a quick format. So it took literally 2 hours. That's 2 hours I'm never getting back. But eventually we were in the desktop. Once Windows XP was set up, we got to running some games. The first of which was Battlefield 1942, which we ran in 800 by 600 with the medium settings selected. While playing through this game, the average FPS hovered around the 50 FPS mark. In simpler areas, the FPS could reach as high as 65, but that was when there was very little going on and no vegetation on screen. In this scene here, while this tank is mounting this barbed wire fence, where there are lots of trees on the scene, and a small fight is happening, you can see the frame rate is dipping to around the 30 FPS mark. Still, overall, quite playable game, and my cameraman and I had a little bit too much fun with it.
Oh! Still some random journalist.
Bridge. I don't... What? It's... It did this, like...
the corpse!
Next up, because I'm out of games again, we have
Big Bites Custom Play Golf.
Golf game was run at 720p with all of the lowest settings selected. We achieved an average of 25 FPS, lows to 23, and highs to 31. Overall, the game was fairly playable if you actually understood what to do, which I didn't.
So, would I recommend this computer? Well, its only real use was playing old games on Windows XP. And you could easily find something with more power than this for a couple of dollars, or free in e-waste. But it was reliable. And I guess it did just fine in the ancient games. You could theoretically put some fork of Linux onto this thing and get something that resembles a computer out of it. But I couldn't be bothered to do that.
So this is where I'll end it. Thanks for watching the video. Means a lot that we've hit 100 subscribers. Big thanks to Austin, the cameraman. He's edited a bloopers reel for this video and will be linked in the description. Sorry the video's out a bit late. The next one's going to be out a bit late too, as I'm going to be overseas for a month. So expect the next video to come out around August sometime. Anyway.
This has been Primitive PCs. Good night.